get more on this with Ewan McGaughey, who is Professor of Law at King's College London, who's been following the situation with Thames Water for some time. And it is quite the saga, isn't it, Ewan? I suppose the first question here is, what's your interpretation or your response to today's judgments?
Well, it just prolongs the pain and raises the costs for bill payers. They've been told that they can get a £3 billion loan, but that loan is going to cost nearly £1 billion in interest fees over 3 years and lawyers' fees. And so that works out to about £260 per household in the Thames Water basin. What really needs to happen is that the government needs to step in and put the company out of its misery, end this debt-ridden farce, and also a company that's got one of the worst pollution records in the country, make it lose its license. And then for all the banks who've now loaded up Thames Water with almost £20 billion of debt, if this loan is finally approved in the appeal courts, they need to take a haircut, potentially down to zero, because they've already received billions in interest repayments. So the government is worried about taking action because it is worried that it might be saddled with debt, but under the law, that's not an option that needs to happen.
And Ewan, why is the government trying to do almost everything to avoid nationalisation?
Well, I think that we should distinguish nationalisation from putting a company in special administration. I mean, nationalisation is where you compulsorily purchase a company usually, and you'd have to pay compensation to reflect the usually market value of the assets. In Thames Water's case, it is so debt-ridden that it is insolvent. It's just relying on bill rises so that it isn't forced into an administration procedure. And also, it's a company that's polluted so much that there are very good grounds for making it lose its license. So special administration is not quite the same as nationalisation. It means removing the existing management of the company, and various things could happen. The company could be transferred to a new private sector body, like Bulb Energy went insolvent, got transferred to Octopus Energy, or it could be transferred to a new debt-free public entity, like when Railtrack went insolvent, it was transferred to Network Rail. So, I mean, that's really important, and the government doesn't need to take on all the reckless debt that's been built up.
And we should probably set this in some context. I mean, Thames Water is massive, isn't it? In the sense that it supplies water to nearly a quarter of all UK households, employs some 8,000 people.
That's right. It's a massive company, and the bigger picture is that England is completely extreme in the level of privatisation of our water resources. 90% of the countries around the world have water in public ownership. Outcomes are better. England has now a water bathing quality record, which is the 5th worst in Europe. It was below Albania a year or two ago. And we pay much higher bills as a result because, since privatisation, £85.2 billion has gone from English water companies to shareholders. So that's not a cost that needs to be paid. And the economic logic of water does not fit with privatisation. It's a natural monopoly. And so, water companies are always going to put their bills up to the maximum amount enabled by the regulator. We've just got to have a systematic change to bring our standards up.
Yeah, indeed. And I saw just a sign of what a mess the water system is, that Southern Water today has also received an injection of funds, given the trouble it is in. Ewan, for the time being, from King's College London, thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you.